America is in complete shock. In an unprecedented move that has stunned global intelligence agencies and rattled the very foundation of modern warfare, China and Russia have reportedly shot down a United States military satellite directly over American territory. It's not just a headline. It's a message. And it's one that could change the world order. Before we dive into this explosive development, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next update. This is the kind of story the mainstream might try to bury. Reports have emerged, backed by leaks from credible sources, that a U.S. satellite operated by a defense contractor was taken out over Montana. The altitude: roughly 600 kilometers above ground. While Washington remains silent, private military forums and encrypted communication channels are lighting up. What they're saying paints a chilling picture. A ground-launched missile from China may have coordinated with a Russian satellite in orbit to execute the takedown. This is not a drill. It's the first known instance of orbital aggression taking place directly over the continental United States. The Pentagon has issued no public statements. The White House is holding urgent, closed-door meetings. And yet, there is no official confirmation. Just a wave of silence that speaks louder than any denial. Why this satellite matters. And it gets worse. The satellite wasn't just any satellite. It was a communications unit, critical to American defense networks and real-time military coordination. Its loss raises the possibility that this act was designed to test U.S. response protocols and expose vulnerabilities. Until now, most hostile activities from Russia and China were digital, cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, or economic manipulation. But this is physical. Strategic. Aggressive. Donald Trump, who has recently returned to the White House under his renewed promise of America First again, had vowed to take a tough stance on both Beijing and Moscow. Yet in the face of this direct challenge, there has been no clear response. No emergency press conference. No retaliatory move. So far, it's been all talk and no action. The world is watching closely. The longer Washington waits, the more this silence could be interpreted as weakness. China's economic warfare, the rare earth gambit. Meanwhile, China is pressing its advantage. It has escalated its economic offensive by restricting the export of vital strategic metals, tungsten, gallium, graphite, and high-purity titanium. These aren't luxury resources. They are essential components in the U.S. defense industry, used in fighter jets, missile systems, satellites, and semiconductors. Without them, the U.S. can't build, can't repair, can't respond. Experts are calling this not just a trade tactic, but a full-on economic strike. China is probing the limits of Trump's resolve. If there's no firm pushback, Beijing may see this as a green light to push even harder. Beijing has been smart. Over the past year, it has worked quietly behind the scenes, forming alliances with countries frustrated with U.S. dominance. From Saudi Arabia and Iran to Brazil, China has assembled a silent coalition ready to shift global power balances. Their latest move? Proposing a rare earth metals exchange where all trade is done in yuan, a clear strike at the dollar's global reign. Russia in the shadows, tactical movements in Europe and space. This is a calculated assault. A coordinated multi-front pressure campaign involving technology, economics, space, and diplomacy. And Russia. It's not just a bystander. Moscow has launched 2 more interceptor satellites capable of close-range orbital maneuvers and satellite jamming. These aren't for defense, they're designed to dominate low Earth orbit. It has also begun military drills in Kaliningrad near NATO's eastern border, heightening fears of broader conflict and sending a clear signal to the West. China, on the other hand, is experimenting with laser systems that can disable reconnaissance satellites, burning out sensors without creating debris. These are not future threats, they're active tests, validated and ongoing. And America's current missile defense systems? They weren't designed for this kind of battlefield. They can protect cities and bases, but not space assets, not with this kind of precision threat closing in. A nation in strategic shock. Right now, America is trying to assess the damage. It's racing to regain control of lost communications, scrambling to understand the full extent of this blow. But the real issue is bigger. The United States is experiencing strategic shock on every front, technological, economic, and geopolitical. And it's happening while the nation is fractured from within. Public trust in government is collapsing. Congress is split. The military is running low on critical parts. This isn't just about one satellite. It's about what comes next. The Pentagon has been sourcing materials like graphite from alternative countries due to Chinese restrictions. But those supplies are drying up. Satellite production is slowing. And let's be clear, satellites are the backbone of 21st century warfare. They enable GPS, missile guidance, communications, surveillance, and weather tracking. Lose them, and America loses its eyes and ears. Modern warfare has evolved. It's easy to think of war as something that begins with bombs and soldiers. But today, war starts with scarcity, with broken supply chains, with silenced satellites, with the subtle cutting of economic arteries. That's exactly what may be happening right now. So who is responsible for the downed satellite? China? Russia? A coordinated effort? Or is it a coincidence? Unlikely. Especially since the same day the satellite went dark, China launched export restrictions on critical minerals. And only 24 hours prior, Russia's Cosmos 2588 satellite maneuvered close to the US asset that later vanished. Still, no government confirmation. Just fear. Just silence. But behind closed doors, Washington is panicking. An elite classified task force has been assembled to analyze the threat. Their job, determine a response that doesn't trigger World War III, because this isn't just another Cold War. It's colder, quieter, and far more calculated. The dilemma of response. Some officials want to keep this quiet, fearful that public knowledge could spark mass panic. Others believe America must stand tall and show strength. But what does a response even look like when the tools needed to fight back are built using materials controlled by your adversary? President Trump has responded with fiery rhetoric, promising 60% tariffs on Chinese tech, blocking Chinese investment in American startups, and urging allies to do the same. But while Trump talks, China acts. And with its grip over rare earths, it can bring U.S. defense and aerospace industries to a grinding halt. Since 2015, Beijing has been quietly securing global rare earth mines, from Africa to Australia. It's also invested heavily in processing technologies. So now, with the push of a pen, it can freeze entire sectors of the US economy. And here's the dangerous irony: America's military superiority may now depend on the goodwill of its greatest rivals. Without those materials, even the most powerful weapons become nothing more than paperweights. Global isolation, allies are staying quiet. America isn't used to this position: vulnerable, reactive, dependent. NATO is hesitant. Europe doesn't want war. India is staying neutral. Japan is focused on its own energy issues. And while US allies hesitate, China strengthens ties with Pakistan, Thailand, and the UAE, tightening its grip on Asia. So here we are. One satellite down. Possibly more to come. The real question isn't who did it. It's what happens next. Inside the White House, plans are being drafted for a counterspace defense initiative. But experts warn, even if it launches now, it will take years to bear fruit. And new attacks could happen in days. What happens if satellites keep falling? Trump's red lines. So far, China and Russia are pushing them, and they haven't hit one yet. Will Trump be remembered as the man who re-established dominance in orbit, or as the president under whom America lost it? Because this isn't just a tech issue or a military concern. If more satellites fall, if GPS, weather systems, ocean mapping, secure banking protocols, and global communications begin to fail, it won't be politics we're talking about. It'll be survival. The loss of satellites would cripple logistics. Planes won't fly. Ships won't navigate. The military won't see. Emergency response systems could collapse. Financial systems could fail. Civilization as we know it would begin to unravel into chaos. And China knows that. Russia knows it too. The US knows it now, but might be realizing it too late to act decisively. One satellite down, another disappears. And here's the kicker: according to newly leaked data, another American satellite may have just disappeared off the Pacific coast. Experts believe it may have been silently disabled or hijacked, without an explosion, without debris, without warning. This is only the beginning. If this pattern continues, America could lose its eyes in the sky, one by one, until the defense grid is blind. Quiet, cold warfare in orbit is no longer hypothetical, it's here, and it's accelerating. This isn't just news, it's the start of a new era in warfare. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines and understand what's really happening behind the scenes, subscribe now. Hit that like button, turn on notifications, and don't miss the next chapter as space becomes the new battlefield.